today what we are going to be discuss about is pointers. Okay, so yesterday we saw something which is based on this arrays. Okay, so we'll do the balance topics on array on tomorrow. I mean, not exactly tomorrow, so in upcoming days. Okay, so we'll see bitwise operators tomorrow, and based on that, we'll study each and every topics continuously. We will move. Okay, so since this C programming we cannot complete within 1 day, so we can also extend it for the 2 weeks also. Don't worry. So I'm gonna cover again this topics where we left the previous ones. Okay. So if we are every day we are covering the same topic array, so you will definitely get bored. So for that we'll be changing everyday topics. Okay. So today we'll discuss about the topic called as an. Okay, so yes, I like your interest, Mantra, but since so some people have been recommended me, so they are attending the free event at 7 p.m. So it get clash. So for that, we'll try to complete this within 1 hour, but extend it to 2 weeks. Okay, so we planned for 1 week this week, so we'll extend it for 2 weeks. Okay, so this C program alone, so we will extend it for the 2 weeks. So you don't worry. Okay, so we'll start this live, guys. So in this today's live, so we are going to be discuss about the pointers. Okay, so what are the things which is going to be discussed on this pointers? First of all, if you are going to be studying anything else, you have to be study the syntax. Okay, so in C programming, so when you're going to be study about the looping, you have to be understand study the syntax of the looping. What is the purpose of syntax? I mean, what is the purpose of looping? Why we are going to be using the looping? When we are going to be using this looping? And you have to be understand the syntax. Then only you can use the looping. So then same, you have to be conditional statement also. So purpose of conditional statement. So whenever these or that which is coming, so you're going to be using the conditional statement if else if conditions you're going to be using. Right? So likewise, before you're going to be studying anything else, you have to be understand why we are going to be use that. So based on that, you can easily solve the logical problems. So likewise, today we are going to be discuss about the pointer. Why we are going to be study about the pointer? So this pointer, we know that it is always going to be get the address. Okay, it helps to store the address. Okay, so this pointer means we cannot directly store the address in normal variables. So for that, we are going to be using the pointer to be stored that. So with the help of the pointer, you can do the operations. So addition is possible. So adding with the help of the address. So when you're going to be adding the address, you can able to do the arithmetic operation. So you can able to swap the things. You can able to do all things by with the help of the pointer alone. You can able to do all this functionality. Okay. So as an embedded developer, so you have to be concentrate on this pointer is very, very important. So we'll go with the fundamentals. First of all, complete guide. Yeah, I've been using that. So first of all, you need to be understand what is the basics of pointers. First of all, when you're going to be declare one variable, so this a is equals to 10. Okay, and if you want to know if you want to store the address of this x variable where it actually stored, that time you're going to be using the pointer. Okay, so you can easily understand this concept. So what is meant by pointer? So you have been declared one x is equals to 10. So this x is going to be created in your memory. This is one of the variable in your memory. Okay, so based on the integer, it is going to be created. X is 4 bytes of memory. So in that, it is going to be stored that value of 10. Okay, if you want to be know the address where it actually stored of x variable, so the value you want to be accessed, you can able to get with help of this. You can able to store the address with the help of this pointer. If you want to get the address, you have to be use the ampersand. So this ampersand, when you're going to be used, you can able to get the address. Okay. So here what I did, so I declared one pointer. So pointer should be always declared with the data type of the pointer is very, very important, guys, because it actually going to be moves with the help of the pointer. So for example, if you're just, I'm just telling the difference of all the one. if I'm using an integer pointer, so this is going to be pointer to integer, right? So this pointer, which is basically trying to store the integer type of data. Okay, so that time it is actually going to be created sections like this. Okay, so if you're trying to store the multiple amount of data, so then you have to be using array. Okay, it's not be like that. Okay, you have to be declare the array initially. Okay, you have been declared the array initially. So, and that array are trying to be store the point. Okay, when you are going to be use the array name only, it is automatically taken the initial address of the base address of the array. Okay, so when you are going to be using this array name only, it is automatically taken the initial address. So, for example, I just consider this is 1,000. Okay, this is the 1,000 as the base address. Okay, so we can using the base address. Okay, so we can using the base address. So in embedded system, so most of your memories and all, so it is having an address. Okay, so with the help of this address, you have to be declare the address. So in previous project, we already did that. It is actually having a each registers which is holding an address, right? So you have to declare the address. So with the help of the pointer only, you can able to declare. So without pointer, that is not a value you cannot declare in normal integer. So that's what you're using this one. Okay. So for example, this is the initial address, that is 1,000. You're trying to store that. You have been stored. So this is how you're going to be doing. Okay. So you cannot store the entire value. You are trying to store the inside this pointer. Initial address you have been stored. Whenever you are using array name, it is considered as an initial address. So in this initial address, whenever you're using an integer type of uh, pointer data type, so it is actually going to be incremented by 4 bytes. Okay. So the next one is incremented by 4. So another next one is incremented by 8. Okay. So whenever you are using a integer pointer, it is going to be accessed like this. Like this. Okay. So whenever you are using the character pointer, what will we have? So for example, you have been declared the character pointer, character of integer pointer. So same, it is a character. Right? Now you are going to be declared the array of character string type of data. You want to be store the string type of data. Here I've been declared the array name. Okay, here I've been declared the array name. So when I'm going to be given like this, it is automatically taken where this array has been stored. That initial address is going to be given. For example, it is a 5,000. This is the address. So you can automatically take on this one, but it is actually going to be incremented by one byte. Since it is having a 1 byte, okay, the size of character is 1 byte, it is going to be incremented by 1 byte. The size of integer is 4 byte, it is going to be incremented by 4 bytes. Okay, so with help of this address alone, we can easily access all these stuff. Okay, so and this is the concept. And next, so this is how we can able to accessing this. Here, we declare the 10. I'm going to be initialize access equals to 10, and it like here I've been declare the pointer. You can give whatever the name, but this dereferencing is important. So you're just mentioning this is a pointer. And here, what you're going to be doing is this. So whenever, what is the difference? What is the main purpose of this dereferencing is? It is helps to fetch the data which is present inside the memory, right? For example, if I'm just using, I've been declared like, so what is the difference between PTR and normal PTR? Here I've been used this one, right? So whenever you're using this one, okay, yeah, I've been declared. So here the example I just taken is X. Okay, I want to be know the address of this X. So address of X. Here also I've been given the address of X. Okay. So in this one, first of all, difference between these two here. So this is the X. Let's store the data. Okay. So it is having some address, 1,000 like. So this 1,000 is going to be stored in this another variable that is a pointer. Okay, so when you are using this dereferencing, what is actually going to happen? What is the purpose of this dereferencing? So when you are using the pointer name, okay, you already declare, you should declare that. Without declaring, you cannot access it in this method. So you should already declare like what type of data pointer, and you have to be declared in this format. Okay, and after you're trying to use this one, so when you're going to be use this with only the PTR, so it is actually going to be tell what is actually present inside this variable. So this PTR which is having 1,000. So here you will get the value called as in 1,000. Okay, whenever you're using this dereferencing, okay, so this asterisk symbol, so we call it as a dereferencing in pointer. So it helps to fetch the data inside this address. So what is inside this pointer? So the pointer, it is having 1,000. So you have to be fetch the data from the pointer. So inside this 1,000, so what is actually having is having a 10. So when you're using in this method, you will access the 10. If you're using this one, you will access the address. Okay, so this is the two difference. You have to be understand very clearly. Don't get confused. Okay, so only the this ampersand which is going to be accessing the data. Okay, accessing the address. Okay, ampersand which is helps to accessing the address. When you're using the dereferencing, it helps to fetch the data which is present inside the address. Okay, so without the dereferencing, you just only get the address, you cannot fetch the data inside the address. Okay, so I hope you got clear. And then we have to be understand the pointer declaration syntax. Okay, here I've been declared the multiple pointer. So this is the integer, pointer to integer, right? This pointer is a type of integer type. This pointer is a character type. So this is a float type. So you can also store the address of different data type. Okay, so but definitely you should tell the which type of pointer. For example, if you are just using like a float of a is equals to 10.4. Okay, the variable you haven't declared. So here you should give the float point, but instead of float, you just given this one. So it is obviously wrong. Okay, you shouldn't use this method. So if you're using a character variable, so definitely your character pointer should be used. So pointer to character is very, very important. Okay, because it is going to be clash in this memory alignment. So it is each and every data type which is having a different size. 4 bytes. So based on that, it is going to be accessing the next data. If you're using an integer type, but trying to using a character pointer means, so what it will be actually do. So the here this is the 1,000 is the first address, and next if you're using a character pointer, so it is incremented by 1. So it is incremented by 2. So this is incremented by. But here you are using a character values. Okay, so that times it is going to be get cache. Okay, so it giving some unwanted data is going to be provided. Okay, so this is what you are going to be consider. And next one. Okay, so next one, it is a null pointer. Okay, whenever initialize to null pointer, whenever your pointer as not having any data, any variable to be stored, you can initialize this as a null variable. Okay, so you can also initialize the null pointer. Okay, so you can use this word null or 0 is applicable. Okay, you can initialize with address also. So the arithmetic pointer. Okay, what is arithmetic pointer is? So normally, if you do the arithmetic operations, so how we can do this? How we can do? So we can use the operation add, plus, subtraction, add, subtraction, multiplication, divisions, and all you have to be. So with the help of the pointer, you have to be add, like you have to be do the arithmetic operations. So for this one, so what you can able to do is, first of all, this is the array. Okay. In this array, you are going to be like move the variables. Okay. Move the variables like, first of all, you have to be accessing the data, the different data you want to be accessing, but with the help of address. Okay, with the help of address alone, you have to be accessing the data. So that's what I just given here. I want to accessing the data, but not if you want to be access the data, you just simply give an array name of which index or value you want to be accessed. If you want to be accessed this for, you use the index value. You can easily access the data called as a row. But this is normal array. If you go to the pointer, if you want to be accessed with the help of address, you have to be use the address alone. Okay. Here I've been declared one array and declare the pointer. So you have to use any pointer name, okay, and declare the initial address. You have been given the pointer to the, so this is the address I want to be played. So you just given like, so this is the the array you have been created in your memory. So you just simply tell it to the pointer, just create one pointer that is a ptrp like that, and you just given the initial address. Okay, so once you have been given the initial address of this value, you can easily access all the data by with the help of the address alone. Okay, so what is actually going to be do is it is automatically take the address. Okay, so why it does automatically take the address? Here I didn't mention the ampersand. So when you're going to be mention this ampersand plus dereferencing, so it is automatically get the value. But here I didn't mention the ampersand. It is automatically taken the address to be stored on this pointer. Okay, so after I just stored this value, here I can do this. So PTR, which is currently holding the initial address. For example, it just holding 1000 is the address. You just consider 1000 is the address. Okay, so I just consider 1000 is the address is okay. I want to access the value called as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The values which I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the initial address I'm having of 1, which is 1000. Now I want to access the value of 4. Okay, or 3. I want to access the value of 3 or 5. So what can I do this? What can I do? What can I do, guys? I can simply add the address. Okay, so if I want to be access the value of 3, okay, the index value it is 2. Okay, the index value which is 2. So how you are going to be considered? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have to be considered this format, right? So I want to be access the second index of the third, the 3 number. So simply I can do like ptr plus 2. Okay, so what is actually going to be do? So when you're going to be do this operation, so PTR of plus 2 means 1000 plus 2 is 1002, right? But it is not. Okay, here you will have the address to like 1, 3. All the data has been stored in this method. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Initial address is 1000. Okay, initial address is 1000. Okay, and this one is 1004 and this one is 1008. Okay, so you have to be access the address of 8, right? So, but this index position is 2. So you have to be check what type of data type you are using, what type of pointer it is, integer pointer. So you have to be multiply with integer pointer, that is 4. So now you can easily access 1008. So now you can easily access the value of 3 here. Okay, so how you can easily write this one? So dereferencing of PTR plus 2. So while you're going to be use this method, so you can easily access the 3. Have you got clear, guys? All people are got clear of this arithmetic operations and all. So if you got clear, just give me the acknowledgement. Got clear. Okay, so you just give me the acknowledgement. Got clear. Okay, so here they have been given only accessing the address. So all you have to be plus 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 and they have to minus the values or not. Okay, so finally you will get one value that is 1008 and they have been minus 1008 minus 2. Okay, even it is a plus or minus, guys, you have to be, for example, I got the 1008 is the final. I'm just finally uh, uh, I'm just placing here. Okay, I want to be get another data. I just want to be minus with 2. So you have to be multiply with 4. Okay, after that, you can again come to this position. You can also access value. Okay, so that is how this arithmetic operations about. So this is what is arithmetic operations and the pointers and arrays. Okay, so what is pointers and arrays? So when you're using a specific pointer for your array, okay, when you're using a specific pointer for your array, so you can accessing all the data with the help of the pointer. So what you are asking, guys? Why I'm not using ampersand? Okay. So in this previous one, so I just declared int of array. Sorry, array. So you have this doubt, right? So in this array concept, guys, so here I just declared in the format of ptr of c equals to ARR. Okay, why you didn't using this ampersand? So you keep this point in your mind. So always this array, okay, whenever it is array concept, if you are not mentioning the ampersand, okay, when you're mentioning the array name alone, you're considering the initial address. You don't need to mention this ampersand. Okay, when you're going to be mentioning the array name alone, it is considering the address of initial address, or you can call it as a base address, the starting address of the array. Okay, so we don't need to be mentioned this ampersand. Okay, so the next concept we have to be discuss about the array. Okay, so in this array pointers, so this pointers and arrays means you have to be declare the integer specific pointer for your complete array. Okay, if you want to be accessing the complete array with the help of the pointer, you have to declare the specific name for your specific pointer. You can use the array name alone as a pointer. So we have to be discussing. Okay, so in this one, so we have been used this one like so this array have been declared. Okay, here I have been declared one pointer. So here I just declared the first initial address of this array. And after that, I just simply doing like this three you want to be understand, guys, because most people will be get confused this way. So all four are equal. All four are equal, which is trying to accessing the index of. Okay, you can use like so array of two. So normally we have to be use this method like array of two. Like normally we have to use the method of array of two. So array of two, if I'm using that, I can access the three. This is the normal method. Okay, okay, got it. So this method is also can access the value. So here I told you the concept that is for the thing. So you can using the array name alone, okay, which can holding the address of the first one. So here I've been declared the AR. Okay, if you're not declaring this, okay, I'm just telling if you're not declaring this, if you're using this method, you can able to access it. That's what I told you that this concept is pointers and arrays. Okay, so specifically we have been declared the pointer. Okay, without using that, the array name alone, with the help of that, you can able to accessing the entire array. Okay, so the you can use the array name role. It is taking the initial address of this one. So address, it's just taking the address of this first variable. Okay, so when you're going to be add by 2, so automatically taken it is going to be multiplied with 4. So we get 8. So you can have the final data of 1008 dereferencing. So you have to be dereferencing. While you're going to be dereferencing at the position of 1008, you will get the 3. Okay, so I hope this method is also important. And another method is you have been declaring the specific pointer. That method is pointers and arrays. So when you're going to be trying to specifically declare the pointer variable for your array. So I've been declared integer specific pointer for my array. And here what I did, so here I've been declare the variable. So here what is actually holding, it's just holding a address. Okay, here it's just holding address. So if you're using a PTR of ARR, I've been using, so I just stored the first initial address. Okay, so now I want to be access the data inside that. So when I'm going to be using like only P, so it is having the address P. and plus 2 same logic, which is going to multiply with 4. So 1000 of 8, I'm just dereferencing, so I will get the third index position. Okay, and the final. So this also same methodology. Okay, so peak of, like if you are declared one array and pointer, this one. When you're using a pointer name plus this subset, okay, when you're using this one, okay, it is going to be accessing as an index value. So these two are same. You're trying to directly access the data in this index one. So these two are same and these two are same. And in finally, all can able to trying to accessing the index of second one, all giving the same output. Okay, but the methodology is different. So these middle two is trying to access with the help of the address. This last one and two is trying to access with the help of the direct index value. Sorry, got clear this point, guys. Sorry, people have got clear at this point, because these are very very important points of guys. So you have to be understand the array pointers. Okay. So after this pointers, this concepts we will see it in this upcoming class.